Officer, can I stay in jail, please?
Yeah, we interrogated the suspect for over 40 hours and he finally cracked.
Hey, Dad! Butters? That's just what I look like, see? Yeah.
What fibs have you been telling this policeman, Butters? You know damn well you didn't toilet paper that house.
Don't you make that face at me, young man. You see, guys? It all worked itself out. Today, how you like me now? Feel a little silly now, Kyle? Today, how you like me now? Hi, Dad.
Don't you hi dad me. Look at you, standing behind prison bars again.
We feel bad for other people. Is it that you think you might get in trouble later?
Just wait till we get you home, you little fibber. Well, I had to see it to believe it.
What am I supposed to repopulate with? Well, you know, with your wiener. What? You guys, there's nothing to feel bad about. We're off scot-free.
Hey, it's Auzzy from Blame Canada, a channel where we break down all things South Park, whether it's dissecting the latest episodes or revisiting the classics. We're here to analyze and explore everything South Park has to offer. If you're into all that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join in. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the lovable, kind, but painfully gullible Butters Stotch. We're going to be discussing Butters, despite his best intentions constantly being grounded by his parents, his manipulation at the hands of Eric Cartman, and his unbreakable spirit of kindness in a dark, twisted, cynical place like South Park.
Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Jesus Christ, dude.
Butters is a beacon of positivity and light. He's a perfect example of how kind people refuse to let the bad around them poison the good within themselves. Let's start by diving into an aspect of Butters that's hugely important to his character throughout the show. As even casual viewers are probably aware, Butters' parents just can't stop grounding him. It's practically a running gag, and for good reason. From minor infractions to things he didn't even do, Butters is constantly finding himself confined to his room. Take this scene for example.
Sir, does this mailman belong to you? That's my son. Is there a problem, officer? There's been an Asian turf war, sir, and your son appears to have caused it. What? An Asian turf war? Butters, you are grounded!
If you ask me, Butters didn't really do anything wrong, but his parents react as if he's committed some heinous crime. This overreaction is a recurring theme with Steven and Linda Stotch. They often blow things completely out of proportion, showcasing a parenting style that's often neglectful, and in some cases, legitimately outright harmful.
Shh. It's okay, baby. Mommy will be with you very soon.
I think yep, it looks like the car's filling up with water. Yeah, I think maybe now might be a good time to come back inside the car and drive, Mom.
And then there are times when Butters gets grounded because of Cartman's elaborate schemes. He's completely innocent, yet he still ends up paying the price. This highlights not only Butters' gullibility, but also the unfairness of his situation. He's constantly being punished for things he has no control over.
All right. I'll stay here and answer the phone for you. Hello?
We told you no television while you're grounded.
Oh, gee whiz, I'm not watching television, Dad. I'm just laying around jacking it.
Oh, you are gonna get it, mister. You just wait till I get home.
Bring it on, queer bait. Hello? Yeah, well, Dad's being a little pussy, Mom.
Butters, where did you get that kind of smart mouth?
Not from you dumbasses, that's for sure.
Oh, you just wait till I get home, mister.
I'll be waiting with bells on, you old horse-banging skank. No, I totally covered for you. They completely believed I was you on the phone. Oh, goody. Well, thanks for covering for me. You're a real pal.
And if being imprisoned in your childhood bedroom isn't enough adversity for a 4th grader, on top of this, Butters has to deal with constantly being manipulated by Eric Cartman.
Butters, it was my pleasure.
Don't you hi, Mom and Dad, us, you little punk! You're tough now. Answer me!
Oh, man, if I was older, I would totally start jacking off right now.
Cartman's manipulation of Butters varies from minor things, like in Season 17, Episode 8, A Song of Ass and Fire, While at the Garden of Betrayal, Cartman manipulates Butters in order to get him to travel to George R.R. Martin's house with Scott Malkinson.
Well, come on, Scott, you're lagging. We just really need to know about the dragons, but they never seem to show up. No, can we skip the wiener stuff and just get to the dragons? You promised that peaches were on the way. Come on, Scott, we're leaving. What did I miss?
To major things, such as in Season 7's Episode 11, Casa Bonita, when Cartman convinced Butters an apocalyptic meteor shower was coming and made Butters live in Uncle Jimbo's bomb shelter, before, as authorities got closer to where Butters was, convincing Butters he had to move because cannibals were coming. On the way to the gas station, he convinced Butters that they were being attacked by a cannibal, and because Butters was wearing a cardboard box over his head to protect him from the radiation, he had no way to tell that they weren't. Cartman, not understanding that zombies and cannibals are different, told Butters to get in a fridge at the gas station because he had been bitten and become infected. After shutting Butters in the fridge, Eric breaks off the door handle and leaves before Butters was picked up by a dump truck and taken to the local dump for the remainder of the week, with poor Butters convinced he was the sole survivor of an apocalyptic meteor shower. Also, he could take Butters' place at Kyle's birthday party, which was being held at Cartman's favorite restaurant, Casa Bonita. Poor Butters spent days trying to rebuild society from inside of the garbage dump, and if you ask me, he did a pretty solid job on making some basic huts. He even had time to make a statue of Cartman out of garbage as a tribute to Cartman for giving his life to save him. If you ask me, a statue built out of trash is exactly the type Cartman deserves, because he's a garbage friend. The dynamic between Butters and Cartman is one of the most consistently explored and darkly comedic relationships in South Park. It's built on the foundation of Cartman's relentless manipulation and Butters' unwavering naivete and optimism. Cartman consistently exploits Butters' inherent trust and kindness, while Butters genuinely believes Cartman is his friend, which makes him incredibly vulnerable to Cartman's schemes.
I have a surprise for you. Best surprise ever. Oh, boy! Just open your mouth and close your eyes and get on your knees.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. This ain't a trick, is it? You're not gonna stick something yicky in my mouth, are you?
I swear on my mother's life, Butters, I'm not going to stick anything yicky in your mouth.
Okay.
Butters!
Oh, hey, Dad!
Butters, what are you doing?
Cartman often devises complex and outlandish plans to manipulate Butters. These deceptions often involve playing on Butters' fears, insecurities, or desire to belong. Cartman doesn't just trick Butters into doing things, he often manipulates his emotions and perceptions of reality. He gaslights him, makes him question his sanity, and isolates him from others. And if that isn't bad enough, Cartman rarely shows any remorse for his actions towards Butters. He sees him as a tool to be used for his own gain, with little regard for the consequences for Butters.
Butters, you are not to let go of Eric's hand until you are both back on that bus. Do you understand?
I understand. Well, which is it gonna be, Butters? Are you gonna ditch out with me, or are you gonna disobey the teacher's stupid rule? I'm not letting go. Fine, then you're coming with me. No, Eric! Butters, let go, goddammit! No! Teacher! Teacher!
The consequences for Butters vary in severity, but Butters frequently experiences emotional distress as a result of Cartman's manipulations. He's often confused, scared, and deeply saddened by the situations he's put in.
Yes, I'm sure I can convince him to come on the show. Butters, Chin? Yeah, but that's me. I'm Butters. We know, you're the one doing it, Butters. Who'd you think we were talking about? Kenny would have done it.
Oh, your grandmother saw the show and had a mild stroke.
Gee, I didn't mean to almost kill Grandma. I promise I'll never go on TV with balls on my chin again.
Cartman's elaborate deceptions can cause Butters to have a distorted perception of reality, as we saw earlier when he believed he was in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Look, Mr. Dog, another survivor. And it's a lady, too. That means we can repopulate the Earth. Yippee!
Kid, what are you doing here?
I'm rebuilding society.
Despite the constant abuse, Butters remarkably maintains his optimistic and forgiving nature. He often quickly forgives Cartman, which perpetuates the cycle of manipulation.
I forgave the Jews. You should be able to forgive him. All right, come on, Butters. We gotta go tell Token I'm sorry for ripping on him for being black. All right, then.
While Butters often falls victim to Eric's manipulation, there are instances where Butters stands up to Cartman or recognizes his manipulation.
Hey, Butters, can I talk to you? What do you want? If anyone should be pissed at chicks, it's you! But, oh God, listen to you. Hey, don't call me that name. You've changed, Eric. You've really changed. Now get the fuck out of my house!
These moments, though infrequent, show a potential for growth and self-awareness. A tool Butters often uses to deal with his less than happy life is escapism. Butters utilizes escapism as a tool by tapping into his powerful imagination. Butters' imagination is so powerful, in a grand style, much like you'd expect to see in one of Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who finales. It was once used to reboot an entire imaginary world.
He did it!
Dude, how did you do that, Butters? Well, I just used my imagination.
I bring this up to show how strong of an imagination Butters has. While Butters did in fact use his imagination to reboot a whole world, he mostly uses his imagination to craft different alter egos to entertain himself, which you can imagine would be super vivid and real to him. While these alter egos can be born out of Butters trying to help others, like Postman Butters in Season 15's Episode 6 City Sushi. Not all of Butters' alter egos were made out of helpfulness and positivity, though. Arguably, Butters' most iconic alter ego, Professor Chaos, was born from quite the opposite, actually. In South Park Season 6, Episode 6, appropriately titled Professor Chaos, the boys, Stan, Kyle, and Cartman, very formally fire Butters from being their friend because they want to find a new replacement for Kenny and don't think he's cool enough.
Well, in the months since our friend Kenny died, you've really stepped up as a friend and filled the gap, so to speak. Well, it's my pleasure. I love being you guys' new friend. Yes, well, Butters, it's just not working out. Not working out? I'm afraid we're gonna have to let you go as our friend. You're just too... lame. Lame, yes.
This rude and humiliating ousting from his friend group brought out dark feelings in Butters.
I do everything people ask me to. I stand in the lunch lines for them. I buy tampons at the store for them. I go on Maury Povich with balls on my chin for them. And yet nobody accepts me. I am an outcast. A shadow of a man who can find no companionship. No love from others.
It's with these darker feelings and in this darker headspace that Butters creates his Professor Chaos persona.
From now on, I will dedicate my life to bringing chaos to the world that has rejected me. I will become the greatest supervillain the world has ever seen. Prepare, oh little town. Prepare for the greatest supervillain you have ever seen. Professor Chaos!
While this alter ego may have been brought on by a darker headspace, thankfully it's still Butters, so his evil plans and schemes aren't very dark or evil at all. For example, while acting as Professor Chaos, Butters attempts to flood the world by leaving a garden hose on.
People of Earth, I am Professor Chaos. In the past few days, I have rained terror down upon the society that shunned me. And now I am going to flood the world. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. You brought this upon yourselves. You made the outcasts of the world. Now watch. Watch as your precious planet drowns.
And hilariously, when his plan to flood the world fails, Butters tries to destroy the ozone layer with aerosol cans.
Oh, yes. Say goodbye to your precious ozone and hello to chaos.
In my opinion, Professor Chaos is a way for Butters to cope with his feelings of powerlessness. He's constantly being grounded, manipulated, and misunderstood. Professor Chaos is his way of taking back some control, even if it's just in his own imagination. He's creating a world where he's the one in charge, where he can inflict chaos for once instead of being a victim of it. While Butters may sometimes slip into roles that are a touch darker, this doesn't take away from the fact that he's the kindest character on the show, in contrast to most of the other residents in South Park who can be outright despicable.
I just don't want you to pick on me no more, Grandma.
Think you're fucking tough, huh? You don't look fucking tough.
I don't think I'm tough, Grandma.
Do something, you little bitch. You're grandma's bitch.
Butters is consistently kind and sweet, and when you take into consideration how much suffering Butters endures, his resilience is a testament to the strength of his character. While Butters is undoubtedly kind, and that may never change, that doesn't mean that our little buddy can't change, for better or for worse. In the post-COVID and post-COVID return to COVID specials, we actually get to see a few of the potential life paths that Butters might end up taking. In the post-COVID special, as a consequence of his parents' neglect, a broken medical system, and indulging in escapism, Butters is essentially driven to madness. Admittedly hyper-efficient madness, but madness nonetheless. And COVID heavily affected Butters.
It was March 16th. That's how long it's been. They said I'd have to wait until April. And then it was May. And then they said wait until summer. It's fucking October now. Why doesn't anyone tell me the truth? That I'm never going to Build-A-Bear. That I'm never going ever again.
He leaned heavily into his escapism and became very successful at selling NFTs under the moniker of Vic Chaos. The isolation of being grounded for 16 years and COVID likely damaged Butters' perception of reality. With this in mind, it's likely that his parents, overwhelmed and misunderstanding his coping mechanism, sought professional help, seeing his escapism as severe delusion rather than the overactive imagination of an overstressed child. Consequently, Butters was hospitalized for delusions of grandeur. The isolation of living in the hospital likely exacerbated his escapism, ultimately leading him to abandon and completely disassociate from his identity as Butters Stotch.
Butters, we're here to ask you about Kenny.
Sorry, guys, you have me confused. I think Butters was a twerpy little loser kid whose parents didn't love him. My name's Vic Chaos.
This clip highlights how Vic Chaos has completely separated himself from his past. He views Butters as a separate entity, a pathetic child he no longer identifies with. This demonstrates the extent of his disassociation and how deeply the trauma of isolation and his understanding of his own neglect has affected him. This parodies how, in real life, hospitals can accidentally harm people by giving them years of incorrect treatment. This misdiagnosis and subsequent isolation can further traumatize individuals, potentially leading to more severe mental health issues. In Butters' case, the well-intentioned but ultimately misguided intervention by his parents in the medical system contributed to his complete break from reality. This is a life path Butters is shown to have taken in the unchanged timeline of South Park post-COVID. However, in the post-COVID Return to COVID special, we are also shown an alternative version of Butters' life, where he takes a far more hopeful path, becoming the manager of Denny's Applebee's Max. In this timeline, Butters is no longer consumed by escapism or the neglect of his childhood. Instead, he channels his resilience and optimism into a productive, fulfilling role. While it might seem humorous or even mundane on the surface, this career path highlights Butters' inherent leadership qualities, and his ability to thrive when given a stable environment and the right opportunities.
Hey, fellas! Can I offer you some poo-poos? Thanks for choosing Denny's Applebee's for your party.
Butters, you're still working here, huh?
Yep, I just made manager. I love doing actual shit that pays actual money.
It's important to note that this outcome wasn't achieved by chance. It's a result of Butters being able to step out of the cycles of manipulation, neglect, and escapism that defined his younger years. As the manager of Denny's Applebee's Max, he not only finds purpose, but also maintains his kindness, which was never broken despite everything he endured. Butters Stotch is more than just South Park's punching bag, or a source of comic relief. He represents the struggle to stay kind in a world that constantly challenges your goodness. Whether he's Professor Chaos, Vic Chaos, or just plain Butters, his journey is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As fans, we root for Butters because he embodies the hope that even in the face of adversity, you can come out stronger. We laugh at his misadventures, but also we feel for him, because deep down, we all want to see Butters find happiness and success. Through his constant groundings, relentless manipulation by Cartman, and escapism into personas like Professor Chaos, Butters demonstrates how our environment and external forces can shape us for better or for worse. The potential outcomes of Butters' life, as seen in the post-COVID specials, further illustrate this point. On one hand, we have Vic Chaos, a product of neglect, misdiagnosis, and isolation, where escapism becomes not just a coping mechanism, but a total rejection of the former self. On the other hand, we have Manager Butters, thriving in a supportive environment where he channels his natural optimism and leadership into a fulfilling role. These two extremes show the profound impact of circumstance. In both timelines, Butters' core kindness and resilience remain intact, but whether they help him flourish or fracture him depends heavily on the environment and support he receives. His journey serves as a testament to the importance of understanding and nurturing those around us, especially those who might otherwise fall through the cracks, like Butters did during his childhood. So what do you think? Does Vic Chaos with his NFT madness represent a better outcome for Butters given the trauma he endured? Or is Manager Butters' stable and grounded life at Denny's Applebee's Max the path that best suits him? Let me know in the comments which future you think was better for Butters and why. If you ask me, I'd say Butters is better off when he isn't grounded forever. And as someone who's personally spent a lot more time in their room than they wanted to, I think Butters is an inspiring character. After all, Butters' story isn't just about the struggles he's faced. It's also about how the right environment can empower even the most beaten down individuals to find their greatness. Sometimes all it takes is a little kindness, understanding, and a chance to grow. This has been Auzzy from Blame Canada. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Butters' character and his alternate futures, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into South Park's most iconic characters. And remember to respect my authority.